Once upon a time, there was a boy named Rahul. He was 17 years old. He lived with his mother in a small house at the edge of the city. His father had passed away when Rahul was only 10. Since then, his mother worked as a housemaid in 3 different homes. She cleaned floors, she washed dishes, she did everything so Rahul could go to school, so he could have a future she never had. Rahul was a good student once. In elementary school, teachers praised him. They said he was smart. They said he had potential. But when he reached high school, something changed. He started spending time with the wrong people. Boys who skipped classes, boys who smoked behind the school building, boys who laughed at the idea of studying. Slowly, Rahul became one of them. His grades dropped. His teachers stopped calling on him. His mother noticed. Every evening when she came home, tired and broken, she would ask him, "Did you study today?" Rahul would lie. "Yes, Ma, I did." But she knew. A mother always knows. She could see it in his eyes, the emptiness, the loss of direction. But she said nothing. She just kept working, kept hoping, kept praying. One night, Rahul came home late. It was past midnight. His mother was sitting on the doorstep, waiting. Her eyes were red, not from crying, from exhaustion. When Rahul saw her, he felt something twist inside his chest. Guilt, shame, but he pushed it down. He walked past her without saying a word. She didn't shout, she didn't scold, she just whispered, "How long will you run?" He stopped, but he didn't turn around. He went to his room and closed the door. That night, he couldn't sleep. Her words kept repeating in his mind, echoing, "How long will you run?" What did that mean? He wasn't running. He was just living, wasn't he? The next morning, his mother didn't go to work. This was strange. She never missed work. She sat at the small table in their kitchen. She called Rahul. Her voice was soft, not angry, just tired. "Sit with me," she said. Rahul sat down. He looked at the floor. He couldn't meet her eyes. She poured tea into 2 cups. She pushed one toward him. Then she spoke. Her voice was calm, but every word felt heavy. "I want to tell you something I never told you before." Rahul looked up. His mother's face looked older than usual. The lines around her eyes seemed deeper. She continued, "When your father died, I wanted to die too. I felt like my life was over. I had no education, no money, no hope. I thought about giving up every single day." Rahul's throat tightened. He never heard his mother talk like this. She always seemed strong, unbreakable. She took a sip of tea and said, "But then I looked at you. You were sleeping. You were just a child. And I realized something. My life wasn't about me anymore. It was about you. I could either feel sorry for myself or I could fight. I chose to fight, not because I was strong, but because I had no other choice." Then she looked directly into Rahul's eyes. "Right now, you are standing at the same place I stood 12 years ago. You can feel sorry for yourself, you can blame the world, you can waste your time with people who have no future, or you can fight. But here's the difference between you and me. I had no choice. You do." Those words hit Rahul like a hammer. He felt his chest tighten. His mother continued, "I scrub floors so you don't have to. I work 3 jobs so you can study. But if you don't value it, if you throw it away, then I am not just failing as a mother. You are failing yourself. And that is the biggest tragedy." She stood up. She touched his head gently. Then she said the one sentence that would change everything. "Don't live a life you'll have to explain with shame. Live a life they'll be proud to hear about." She left the room. Rahul sat there, alone, silent, but something inside him was breaking. Not in a bad way, in the way a shell breaks so something new can come out. That day, Rahul didn't go to meet his friends. He stayed home. He took out his old books. They were covered in dust. He opened his notebook. The pages were empty. He started reading, not because he suddenly felt motivated, but because his mother's words wouldn't leave his mind, echoing, "Don't live a life you'll have to explain with shame." He imagined himself 20 years from now, sitting with his own child. What would he say? Shameful imagining. "I wasted my mother's sacrifices. I chose comfort over effort. I gave up before I even tried." The thought made him sick. He didn't want that life. He didn't want to be that man. Days turned into weeks. Rahul stopped hanging out with those boys. They mocked him, they called him weak, they said he was trying to be something he isn't. But their words didn't hurt anymore, because he knew something they didn't. He knew what his mother gave up for him, and that was bigger than their approval. He started waking up early. He studied before school. He stayed back after school to ask teachers for help. It wasn't easy. His mind fought him every day. It told him to quit. It told him he was too far behind. But every time he wanted to give up, he remembered his mother's face. He remembered her tired eyes, her rough hands, her unwavering faith. Months passed. Exams came. Rahul worked harder than he had ever had in his life. When the results came out, he scored higher than he ever thought possible. Not the highest in class, but enough to prove he could do it. Enough to prove his mother's sacrifices were not in vain. The day he showed his mother the result, she cried. Not tears of sadness, tears of relief, of pride, of hope. She hugged him tight and whispered, "I always knew you could. I was just waiting for you to know it too." Years later, Rahul became a teacher. He didn't become rich, he didn't become famous, but he became something better. He became a man his mother could be proud of. And whenever a student came to him, lost and confused, he would tell them the same thing his mother told him. Don't live a life you'll have to explain with shame. Live a life they'll be proud to hear about. Because that one sentence, spoken by a tired mother in a small kitchen, didn't just save Rahul's future, it gave him a reason to build one. Your parents might not say it the way Rahul's mother did, but they're fighting battles you don't see, making sacrifices you don't notice. And the best way to honor that is not with words, but with action, with effort, with becoming the person they believed you could be. If this story made you think about someone who believes in you, someone who's fighting for you, don't just feel it, show it. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to wake up, and subscribe to Quiet Wisdom Stories, because we bring you stories that don't just touch your heart, they change your path. Remember, the life you live today is the story you'll tell tomorrow. Make it worth telling.